and it was supposed to be an annual event, of course, but we all know COVID stole 2 years away from us, 2020, 2021, and luckily here we are in 2022. So without much ado, we know we're already running very, very late on time. So I'll just start this event by calling on an opening prayer by our brother here, so that the good Lord might bless our occasion, and we'll get right to it.
Let's pray. Lord Jehovah, we thank you to bring us today all together here, coming from every part of the United States and Canada to come before you as one people united to discuss the matter about the construction and the building of this young growing community that you put in front of us. Please, Lord, make us be wise and alert in all the sharing that we're going to do today, so that we end up here building each other and then keep the train going, so that the next convention bring more forward about our community, about everyone involved. Lord, we thank you for just having us set up today and having us be present in this room. But also we thank you for those who have that in mind that who cannot be with us, but also for those who by sickness are here with us now. We thank all our forefathers who show us the way to continue to share and witness our culture and to be here as one people, one united. We thank you for the remaining day. May your Holy Spirit come and bless us during all this day and all this symposium. We may pray in the name of Jehovah. Amen. Amen.
Thank you very much. Before I give the floor to our host president to address us, I wish to notify our guest speaker, Mr. Elvis, that he will be speaking after the host president. And then once again, there is a hotel key card that somebody has lost, hotel keys, for room number 1711. Please, I got the key here. And somebody lost the bag outside as well. Just bring it here. Let me bring it here. Without much ado, I would like to first of all congratulate again Colorado for having hosted us. We've had lots of shortcomings, but I think the train is still on the tracks, moving majestically. And Christian, thanks to you and your entire team for all what you have been providing us so far. So please, will you welcome your guests?
Et je loue vraiment le travail que vous avez fait. Je sais, Georges, que tu m'as demandé 10 minutes, je vais te les donner. 10 minutes, je suis journaliste, donc le calibrage, on ne fait pas, je m'y connais. Donc, je suis Jean-Marie Watonsi, mon père était de Bafoussam, c'est dans l'ouest, et ma mère, elle, est de l'extrême nord, Kousséri. Donc, vous voyez, je suis né à Yaoundé, je parle très bien Yaoundo, je parle Bassa, je parle Bafoussam, je parle Banjoun.
Oh my gosh.
Attention, sois là, je m'appelle ça André-Marie. Voilà. Donc, c'est un peu ça, c'est de ça qu'il s'agit. La langue, c'est très important. C'est très important. À mon arrivée ici à Denver l'autre jour, je me baladais à Walmart, j'ai rencontré des compatriotes des Grassfield. Et puis je leur dis, et puis quelqu'un me dit, non, ça va bien. Et puis l'autre me dit, mais t'es là depuis quand? Je lui ai dit que Mario. Et puis la deuxième personne me dit, welcome to Denver. Donc ça m'a paru un peu bizarre. Cette attitude m'a fait penser à cette autre situation qui voudrait que ce soit en Europe ou aux États-Unis, lorsqu'on va rendre visite à des familles, vous trouvez les petits-enfants, si c'est des petits-enfants, vous leur dites où dites-vous là? Et puis ils te regardent comme ça, comme si tu sortais de Jupiter. Et puis c'est les parents qui arrivent. Oh, vous savez, maman Jean-Marie, c'est comme ça, on est en France, on ne peut pas faire le contraire. Les enfants, ils parlent français. Si c'est aux États-Unis, ah oui, ils parlent anglais. Nous-mêmes, on leur parle en anglais. Et puis moi, je me dis, mais quand j'écoute les parents parler cet anglais, je me dis, Shakespeare doit se retourner dans sa tombe. Parce que l'accent, non. Je crois que ceux qui ont la charge d'enseigner, que ce soit le français en France, ou que ce soit l'anglais, ou que ce soit l'allemand en Allemagne, à nos enfants, ils sont mieux outillés que nous. Donc arrêtons le cinéma. Non, non, c'est trop facile de dire qu'ils sont dans un environnement où... Donc, la langue, il faudrait savoir comment la manier. Moi, j'ai un problème, c'est que j'ai beaucoup regretté. J'ai appris de manière très, très difficile parce que mes enfants, il a fallu beaucoup travailler pour les amener à parler le Bamileke. C'est très important, le Bamileke. J'ai donc emprunté, j'ai fait quelques lectures comme ça, une réflexion interpellative, après avoir lu quelqu'un comme Dubelé. Joachim, c'est un poète français qui, en 1549, a parlé justement de l'importance de la langue dans notre culture, dans notre évolution. Et Belé, il se posait une question du Belé, il disait pourquoi est-ce que nous sommes tant uniques en nous-mêmes? Pourquoi est-ce que nous mendions les langues étrangères? Est-ce que nous sommes obligés de nous exprimer à travers la langue de l'autre? Et ça me ramène au Cameroun où je vois les gens, pour vous montrer le standing, leur standing, ils vous parlent en français châtié, ils vous parlent anglais, ça c'est pour vous épater comme on dit, mais ça n'a pas sa raison d'être. Moi je préfère quand je rencontre, une fois encore, j'interpelle ici mon frère André, rarement on parle le français. Et vraiment, quand on parle en Bamileke, c'est super intéressant. C'est formidable. Moi, je vous dis, quand je vois mon frère de Baranté, même comme je ne maîtrise pas bien, j'ai dit un de deux. Il me dit, je suis content. Parce qu'il est vrai que nous avons des étrangers ici, des Américains, des Blancs, des Noirs, des Jaunes. Mais quand je dis ce sont lui, il ne sait pas de quoi je parle, mais mon frère comprend que j'ai soif et que j'ai envie de boire. Ça, c'est super important. Donc, il faut toujours y penser. Une interpellation qui devrait résonner dans nos têtes. On doit se poser des questions. Est-ce que nous ne pouvons pas travailler dans le sens d'amener d'abord nous-mêmes, notre progéniture, à apprendre nos langues? C'est super important de le faire. Parce que si on ne le fait pas, notre culture, eh bien, non. Nous avons aujourd'hui, face à ce qu'on appelle la globalisation, un drame. Le drame de l'homme produit. Nous sommes le produit de quelque chose. Mais la tendance que nous avons ici, c'est d'imiter bêtement les autres. C'est de ne pas nous poser la question sur le moi. Le moi, qui suis-je en fait? Et comme il disait, celui qui est passé avant moi, si nous ne savons pas d'où nous venons, eh bien on ne sait même pas où on va. On ne sait pas où on va. Et ce n'est pas en venant ici en disant, yes, my name is Dr. Botansi, I teach French at this university, c'est pas intéressant. Je préfère utiliser ma langue, une fois encore. Notre drame, comme je disais, eh bien, c'est que en tant qu'homme produit, nous sommes victimes de la globalisation, c'est que nous n'arrivons pas à coïncider avec nous-mêmes. Avatar sans véritables attaches, nous déambulons entre notre mère nourricière, les grassfields ou le binôme, que nous avons renié, et le rejet d'un Occident qui se refuse à un métissage avec des descendants de Cham que nous sommes. Parce que même dans la Bible, on dit que nous sommes maudits, nous les Noirs. Donc il faut qu'on fasse attention et qu'on réfléchisse, qu'on sorte justement de cette situation dans laquelle on nous a plantés comme ça. Il va falloir qu'on fasse des efforts dans ce sens-là. Bien. Je vais donc continuer en disant qu'il est très important que nous travaillions dans le sens d'enseigner à nos enfants le bien fondé de ce que nous avons appris de nos parents. Ça, c'est le côté héritage. Donc, qu'est-ce que nous avons hérité de nos parents? Il va falloir que nous travaillions là-dessus, que nous pensions à transmettre ce message parce qu'il est important. Donc, il y a héritage d'un côté, transmission de l'autre. Comment est-ce que nous amenons les deux, nous concilions les deux? C'est parce que nous-mêmes, nous devons d'abord prendre des dispositions, nous asseoir, penser à la technique, n'est-ce pas, d'enseignement, de l'éducation de nos enfants. N'ayons pas honte, ne jouons pas au caïd, non, c'est pas important, parce que lorsque nous...
The official sponsors of this convention, all our sincere gratitude to you, to William Technologies. Dr. Marius, over to you, sir.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir. J'espère que vous êtes inspiré par Elvis et le grand Watosi. Donc, après les avoir écoutés, c'est difficile pour moi de rester moi-même, le moi artificiel. J'ai un peu essayé d'apprendre et d'appliquer ce qu'ils ont dit. Et essayons de voir si ça marche. Ça va faire. Bon. Peut-être que j'ai voulu évoluer, mais je ne sais pas comment on dit docteur en bas. Docteur, ce n'est pas bas. Et quand je regarde le titre, donc quand je regarde le titre de ma présentation, j'ai voulu également le dire en Baham. Pas beaucoup comme de sugar. Et je me rends compte que sugar, ce n'est pas Baham. Donc ça, c'est vraiment, on a beaucoup de travail à faire. On a beaucoup de travail à faire. Donc ceci devrait attirer notre attention et que nous partons d'ici avec des questions. Et quand on arrive chez nous, dans nos maisons, qu'on commence à travailler. Moi-même, c'est ce que je vais faire. Et j'ai grandi au village, je crois que là. Donc, docteur, sugar. Donc, vraiment, ça montre qu'on a beaucoup de travail à faire. Bon, rentrons sur le sujet. Et permettez-moi, je vais le faire en anglais, la parole des autres, et aussi un peu en français. Et ça sera un peu interactif. Et je sais que le patron m'a donné 10 minutes, je vais faire des efforts. I will do my best to stay within the time frame. Okay. So let's talk about diabetes and its impact within our community. Vous m'écoutez bien, non? You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. So the objectives of our few minutes exchange is that living from here, we need to review or have reviewed some statistics, informations, and the impact and how it impacts our communities. And when I talk of communities, it is the American communities, because when we talk of African American, we are part of that pool. Okay, we are not totally separated from the African American community. So when I say AA, it's us, including them. And then African community, going back home. And in Africa, we're gonna go further to Cameroon. And then in Cameroon, we're gonna go to the Western province, to the source. We couldn't talk about this without going to that extent. Secondly, we will review the complications of diabetes. And lastly, but not the least, we're gonna know how to live with it and prevent it. But let's see what we understand of diabetes and how much of a risk we all carry. I'm gonna ask these few questions, and you can just, by the raise of hands, answer it. I am 40 years old, never told that I have diabetes. Therefore, I'm no longer at risk. True or false? I agree. I am not overweight. I eat healthy. I should not worry about developing diabetes. False. Everyone in my family has diabetes. Therefore, my turn is just around the corner. True. Okay, I guess we know it all. I just we all, those answers, you guys got it right, 100%. So now let's look at some statistics, okay? In America today, 30 million of people live with diabetes. 30% of African Americans, us, have diabetes. And look at the number. The United States has 300 million people. Okay, that speaks volume. About 18 million sub-Saharan Africans live with diabetes. This is very bad, given that in 1980, diabetes was considered rare in Africa. So if you see the trending, it's concerning. Every 17 minutes, someone is diagnosed with diabetes.
Wow.
So since we've been here, many people have developed diabetes. The prevalence of diabetes in Cameroon has skyrocketed. In 2003, the prevalence was 0. In 2021, we are 5.5%. The death from cardiovascular diseases, and last year we spoke about it, gives you 2 to 4 times higher risk being diabetic. When you have diabetes, you have risk of developing these cancers: liver, pancreas, kidneys, stomach, doubles. So now let's go to the sub-Saharan Africa. The most common type of diabetes there, and again, given the time frame, I'm not gonna dive too much into the pathophysiology of diabetes. I'm just gonna try to be as simple as I can be, and bear with me, please. Type 2 diabetes is the most common one. And the question is why? There has been westernizations or urbanizations of our communities in Africa. So being in Africa doesn't spare you from developing these Western world diseases. It's important that I will keep that in mind. The prevalence rate in Cameroon is now 10%. And it is even higher in the Western province, where we come from. Okay, and that's why we are talking about this. The risk of developing diabetes, actually this is a study that was done by Dr. Akbord in collaborations with the medical associations of Bamenda. They did this in 2018. And this is from their findings, that being an adult female and being married and being educated in the Western provinces put you at a higher risk of developing diabetes. So let me repeat this.
Yes.
If you are a female, so in Cameroon, I did not make this up. Okay, I quoted the author of this research. You can go online, you will find it. In Cameroon, being Bamileke or being from the Western province, 1. Being a female, adult female, 2. Being married, 3. Being educated, 4. Put you at a higher risk of developing diabetes. If you disagree, look around. So this is talking to us here. And why? It's unhealthy diet. It is not a lie. If you want to be honest to yourself, just look at your kitchen. You will have some answer to this. And secondly, the sedentary lifestyle. Why in the Western provinces, those who are married are developing more diabetes?
Why?
It's because I'm going to give you some clue, and call me out if I'm wrong. If you are a female, when you get married, the expectations is that you cannot be underweight, or else the husband is not taking good care of you. True or false?
True.
Secondly,
And you said that you want to die.
Secondly, if you have had a successful marriage and your husband doesn't care for you enough for you to open a business, then he's being selfish and doesn't want to give you the chance to help your family. True or false?
True.
When you have that business, how do you spend your time most of the time?
sleeping, eating.
You go, you open the business, you sit down, you snack the whole day, you make the money, and actually you hire people to carry the little things from here to the front for you. You spend the whole day doing that, and what happens?
Gaining weight.
So in this case, if you look into it, having money actually is putting you at risk. So now, what about the education? Why is education putting our sisters at a higher risk? And by the way, why not men? Why not men? Because men in our culture are taught they have to go and hunt. They have to go and provide. And men can, in the sake of providing for the family, spend the whole day without eating. The men, for the sake of providing for family, instead of taking taxi, will walk from point A to point B. The men, for the sake of family and growing up and being successful, growing up, the boys were to do the harder work. Aller travailler au chantier, on envoie les garçons aller travailler au chantier. La sœur reste à la maison avec maman. Elle est à la cuisine. Elle snack toute la journée pendant que le garçon est en train de bosser au chantier. Whether you deny, I'm not speaking for myself, I'm just kind of saying the facts. Okay? So I was trying to kind of point out a few items why this is actually true, objectively. So now the types of diabetes, I think I spent lots of time talking about the statistics. I'm not going to waste too much time about this. There are two types of diabetes mellitus, type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is autoimmune. It represents about 10%. It is totally insulin dependent. And the people who have this type of diabetes are usually underweight. They look small. You can look at them and it's rare to kind of think of the other type of diabetes looking at their weight. The problem here is that if you don't control your diabetes very well, the consequences set in. The vessels of your kidneys, of your eyes, the nerves suffer from it. And it puts you at risk of complications such as cardiovascular diseases and stroke. Type 2, which is the most common, if we're being Bamileke, this is the type that we will have. It is insulin dependent, somewhat, okay? It depends more on the lifestyle choices, and it comes to your activity level hours and what you're eating. This affects people who are more overweight. And talking of overweight, there have been studies showing that where you are overweight actually can kind of guide us in estimating what type of diabetes you have. Et pour les hommes, pour être gentil, je vais m'occuper des hommes, c'est le one pack. I call it one pack. And for us Africans, it's genetic. You can go to the gym as much as you want, but you're gonna have a very strong one pack. Okay? If you carry weight there, it predisposes you of developing diabetes. And this type is somewhat better controllable because if you tweak few things, you'll be on top of it. Okay? And this is about 90% of people who have diabetes, they have this type. Sorry, I gotta go through really fast because there are more information, very important I want to share with you guys. So, I don't want to make him mad. That's why I'm doing this. So when diabetes is not controlled, what happens? Most of us who have been close to people with diabetes know of diabetic ketoacidosis. That is usually when most people find out they have diabetes. And this is when I am involved. If you fail to control your diabetes, that's when you see people in my specialty, because you will need critical care, because it's so serious. And here, if you don't feel well, if you feel something is not right, don't assume it's going to be okay. Go to the hospital. Cardiovascular disease is another complication: hypertension, stroke, renal failure, atherosclerosis. This is just having plaques in your vessels. Neuropathy, coronary artery disease, blindness. Okay, you can become blind by being diabetic. And for the men, If Johnson is not working as well anymore, it could be that you are diabetic. So don't assume que quelqu'un t'a attaché au village. Go see the doctor and get checked and make sure that you don't have diabetes. Just something like that. Instead of trying to take, I have to talk about this. This is very important because I've seen complications of this. Instead of the moment you start having erectile dysfunction, instead of looking for Viagra. I didn't know you guys were paying attention. That's actually good. So instead of taking Viagra or Vitacola or whatever you take, please go get your health checked. Sometimes just controlling your sugar is all you need to get Johnson back in action. Okay? I had to say that. Okay? Complication, you can lose your limb, and when that happens, loss of work, loss of income, that leads to poverty. If you cannot work and make money, poverty is at the door, and then you can also die. Okay, you can also die. So now, I want you guys to keep this in mind as we move to the next slide. Very important. You see all these complications. Now look at this. This is the leading cause of death among blacks, among us in America. I want somebody to grab a calculator. Anybody, grab a calculator and do this for me. It's going to be very fast. This is the 10 most common cause of death in the United States. This is from the CDC. I'm going to cite diabetic-related ones, and then we're going to add it up. And that's why it's important that we take this seriously. I did men and female because there's a lot of variation there. But let's take the men. Soyons gentils, be gentlemen. Let's just talk about men. 24.1, heart disease. Cancer, 19.7. Stroke, 5.0. Diabetes itself. I'm not going to do Alzheimer's, although there's a link, but indirect link. Let's go down to kidney, 2.7, and hypertension. What's the total?
51.5. Oh, hypertension is 1.7. So the total is 53.2.
53.2. I want you to take that home. We know genetically, culturally, geographically, we are at risk. And coming to America, with the risk associated to living here, we are further at risk. Based on this number, being diabetic gives you 53% closer to death than now. Diabetes may not be the name in front, but it's part of the puzzle. By controlling diabetes and staying on top or chasing it out of our community, that's how much impact we'll be bringing to our community. Good news is that there are ways to win this battle. First, we need to acknowledge this risk that we are sharing today. We need to get screened. We need to have regular visits with our primary care doctors. If you have a primary care provider, please raise your hand. So I will see about 75%. Please, next year, let it be 100%. It's critical. Have a primary care provider. Frequent visit with your dentist, the eye doctor, as well as the foot doctor. If you have a wound that is hanging around, that is not healing fast enough, it could be a sign that your body is too sweet. Go see the doctor. Break from unhealthy habits and traditions. And this includes our food. And culturally, when I say look at our kitchen, please do. You can avoid drinking a Coke during this convention and go home eat rice every day, you're not doing anything different than the person who is drinking a bottle of Coke every day. This is the fact. The carbohydrates in our diet is ridiculous. We grew up with it. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to change that tradition. But now we are aware. Let's try to include a little bit more proteins and fibers and less carbohydrates. Somebody said in the social media not too long ago, que beignet haricot bouilli was the most toxic food in Africa or in Cameroon. People almost kill him.
Yeah.
But if you want to put emotion away, he was actually right. Okay, if you look at what is put in there, he was being honest. It's just sometimes honesty hurts. So keep that in perspective as you go home today. Increase your physical activities. I'm sure you heard about this. If you smoke, please quit smoking because it impacts your chances of developing diabetes. Pay attention to your symptoms. Don't assume it's nothing. Go see the doctor. Go to the emergency room. The advantage in this country is that we have access to care. You don't have to have money to go to the ER. Go there and you will be cared for. And the money will be later versus where we come from. So let's take advantage of the system. Know that you can go and get care and go seek care whenever it's due. In conclusion, I want to say this. Diabetic, it's evident, it's a growing threat. Here, as well as back home, we do have an advantage though, that we know and we have access to resources. Let's not be selfish. Try to, if you find something critical and important, let's make sure that we share with our counterpart back home. Although diabetes, it is not treatable, it can be well managed. Somebody can live to 90 to 100 with diabetes without any complications of it. They just need to do the right thing and follow up with the primary care providers. It is critical that we initiate, wherever we are, some type of community approach to combat this threat. Just one person doing it may not be enough, but it's important that we share this information to our people back home so they know that now we know that we live with this fast-growing problem. These are the sources of all these informations, and you can go there and even find more. Before I stop, if I may, please, if you serve in the healthcare in any form, from nurses' aide to engineer maintaining the machineries or to physicians, please stand just for a second. Let's clap for them, please. So, just good. Let's clap for them. I just wanted to say that you all know what 2020, 2021 has been. You have been very brave, and I just want to congratulate you for being who you are. And we pray the gods of the Western provinces to continue to lead your way as you continue to impact lives in your respective businesses or place of work. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Success doesn't just happen. It happens by design. It follows those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. It's your dream of building a brand, achieving a global presence, and conquering the world. It's about finishing what you started. To make your dream come true, you'll need a reliable IT partner who will be able to provide you with robust IT solutions within your budget. We unleash the power of IT onto organizations. With our expertise, and our international and robust IT infrastructure, we challenge the status quo and optimize our clients' processes to maximize their revenue. without compromising their security. We have mastered the art of digital transformation through professional web and mobile application development, website design and development, graphic design, cybersecurity, managed services, video production, digital marketing, IT staff augmentation, and much more. We envision a world where every organization has a community with human capital, as well as trending technology capabilities necessary to effectively and efficiently meet international standards, increase sales, and drive revenue. Solely guided by our values, we believe community is the best company culture, and we pride ourselves on being the community's backbone. We are Willing Technologies, the backbone of communities.
Well, again, I'll reiterate again that Willing Technology being the backbone of communities, like they said, that the Willing Technology is also the backbone of our convention. They are one of our official sponsors, for which we are very, very grateful. Captain Wilfred, over to you, please.
One second, please.
And just a rundown of the programs remaining after Willing Technology will be update of 2019 ABC project, and then DOCO Drive initiative, which is some financial structure that ABC Ohio and ABC are working on. And after that, we'll have the project update for 2022 by the Colorado team. And then just before our honorable guest, Mr. Andre Maritala, addresses us, I would like to have a word from our 2023 convention host, which is in the name of President Rodrigo, who is in the house as well. Wilfred, you ready?
Almost.
Okay.
Thank you. Brother George, thank you. President Christian, thank you for the opportunity. And I also want to thank Brother Eric. I don't know if he's in the room, because if we are here today, we owe him a huge thank for his leadership. So if we could please give him and this team here a big round of applause. As most of you already know, my name is Wilfred. Some might call me Captain Wilfred or Captain Moishe. That's all me. I am addressing you today as the President and CEO of Willing Technologies. As you may have noticed, the backbone of communities. And today, my intervention will mostly focus on community networking. Why is it so important? We just don't believe in communities. We are investing in communities because we know how powerful community is. If I go with my personal experience, and I'm pretty sure each of us here can tell us a story of what community has been able, or the impact of community in their life. And the reason
we are doing this is because as African, we even need this more than anything else. And that's why it is crucial for all of us to be here, to be present here today. And I'm going to show you some of what Willan Technologies has been doing just to empower communities. I want you to take a look at this system. It is a system that we are building just to empower communities. Trust me, we are in the United States of America, and here we have everything that we need, including the trendy technologies. We have the best. Anything we can dream, we can make it happen in the United States of America. Only if we believe in it. Only if we really take into account who we are, as the previous speakers told us today. All those big companies, those big corporates, Facebook, WhatsApp, is now called Meta, right? Microsoft, they are huge companies. They all talk about community. But do they really take care of what community is for us? It's very, very difficult. They don't understand our reality. Or maybe because they don't really see the value in us. They don't really see the value in investing in us. But we do understand who we are, right? Or at least we should know who we are. And we should be able to invest in what, in making sure that we advance. Here's our challenge today. Our communities are struggling. We are struggling. And why are we struggling? We talked today about volunteering, right? And those who step forward and volunteer in every single community here, they pretty much get abandoned everything. They don't get paid, but they do everything, and they do repetition. Every single day, they keep doing the same thing, the same thing. And next year, when they leave, the next leadership that comes in, they have to start from scratch. Why are we repeating the same thing every single day? Why can't we use the technology, the power of technology to empower our community, right? Why can't we use the power of technology to help us be who we are? That is what Willan Technologies has been doing for 4 years now. For 4 years, we have been building BrainyCom, which is this huge application. We don't want to copy Facebook. We will not copy WhatsApp, but we will reinvent ourselves. We will try to make sure that we stay who we are with our platform. So BrainyCom, to cut it short, is a system that is connecting our people, and that is also empowering our community. Everybody here knows what Njangi is, right? Daunting. BrainyCom helps automate that. We do épargne. Tout le monde ici fait les épargnes. BrainyCom nous aide à faire tout ça. Les élections. Nous avons passé 2 ans dans le Covid. Il y avait des gens qui avaient même peur de sortir. On ne pouvait même plus se réunir. Beaucoup d'associations ont fermé. Pourquoi? Il fallait qu'on se réunisse, être physique pour peut-être faire des élections, ainsi de suite. BrainyCom, on n'a pas besoin de SurveyMonkey, de tous ces systèmes qui ne répondent pas toujours à nos réalités. BrainyCom nous aide à faire tout ça. Nous sommes en train de construire ce système. Pourquoi? Parce que nous connaissons la valeur des communautés et nous voulons quelque chose qui est uniquement pour nous. Quelque chose que nous connaissons. Le système, il est encore en phase bêta. Ça veut dire qu'on ne le commercialise pas encore. Et même le jour où on va le commercialiser, ce sera pour empower nos communautés. Nous allons donc inviter tous les leaders d'associations qui sont là, les leaders de communautés, les business owners, parce que BrainyCom n'est pas seulement pour les associations. Nous allons également le rendre disponible pour toutes les entreprises. Et pourquoi toutes les entreprises? Parce que nous croyons que même dans n'importe quelle entreprise, la communauté est la meilleure culture. Et nous allons tout faire pour que dans chaque entreprise qui veut réussir, que nous puissions les aider à instiguer l'esprit de communauté. Donc, nous serons là tout au long du week-end, bien vouloir vous approcher de nous pour que nous puissions échanger. Si vous êtes curieux de savoir ce que c'est, et puis même faire essayer ça à votre association et gratuitement. Nous avons des associations qui l'utilisent déjà gratuitement parce que c'est ce qui nous importe le plus. En plus de Brainicom, nous sommes en train de travailler pour créer une communauté de développeurs, une communauté de gens, des Camerounais, des Africains qui connaissent bien l'informatique ou bien qui veulent faire dans l'informatique. Il y a beaucoup de gens qui veulent changer de carrière, qui veulent venir dans l'informatique. Mais je suis vraiment désolé de constater que lorsqu'on parle informatique, bien que intelligents que nous sommes vraiment très loin lorsqu'il faut comparer avec d'autres communautés. Wheeland Technologies a un contrat présentement pour les 10 prochaines années avec l'État d'Ohio, où nous fournissons chaque jour que Dieu a créé des employés dans le domaine informatique. Jusqu'à aujourd'hui, nous n'avons pas encore réussi à placer un Camerounais, même pas un Africain. Pourquoi? Parce que quand l'État d'Ohio, qui lui-même, je suis moi aussi senior software developer pour l'État d'Ohio, ça veut dire que je suis employé, fonctionnaire de l'État. L'État lui-même recrute. Mais il y a des fils qui sont tellement complexes que c'est difficile pour l'État de trouver lui-même les employés. Et quand c'est comme ça, l'État passe par des entreprises comme nous pour que nous allions chercher et ramener. Sur toutes les demandes, c'est les Indiens. 99,99% de nos placements, c'est les Indiens. Quelques rares Américains. Bon, on n'a pas encore eu d'Africains jusqu'ici. Nous recrutons également au Cameroun. Également au Cameroun, parce que notre entreprise est basée à Yaoundé, vers la montée, je pense. Nous avons au Cameroun, et c'est notre manière également en tant que diaspora de rentrer au Cameroun et de montrer ce que nous demandons depuis qu'on fasse. Recruter les Camerounais, leur donner du boulot et les traiter avec dignité. Donc, nous recrutons au Cameroun, nous avons plus d'une dizaine d'employés au Cameroun qui sont tous affiliés à la CNPS avec des congés payés, tout ce qui a comme avantage. Nous calquons le système d'ici, le système américain. Donc, si vous avez des connaissances au Cameroun et qui sont dans l'informatique ou bien qui veulent faire dans l'informatique, vous pouvez les inviter à nous suivre sur les réseaux sociaux. Nous avons créé une communauté Wheeland IT Community. C'est exactement pour ça. Dans cette plateforme, nous publions des boulots presque au quotidien, soit ici aux États-Unis, soit au Cameroun. Toutes les demandes de l'État d'Ohio, nous publions ça ici. Même si vous n'êtes pas encore qualifié et que vous comptez être qualifié, en voyant les boulots qui sont annoncés au quotidien, ça peut vous influencer et peut-être même influencer vos recherches et vos études. Donc, merci donc de nous suivre. Nous serons là également pour toutes questions que vous avez et nous espérons que nous pouvons faire quelque chose. S'il y a des entreprises ici qui font également dans l'informatique, l'erreur que nous commettons en tant qu'Africains, on croit que lorsqu'on opère dans le même domaine, on est ennemis. Bien au contraire. On doit se complémenter. Je ne sais pas si vous savez que il y a des gens qui luttent pour Samsung et Apple. Mais est-ce que vous savez que beaucoup de parts de Apple sont fabriquées par Samsung? Voilà. Pourquoi nous, on doit se tuer. Donc, si vous avez des entreprises ou vous comptez faire également des entreprises, même dans l'informatique, ici ou au Cameroun, vous pouvez également nous rencontrer. On va voir dans quelle mesure nous pouvons travailler ensemble. Pour finir, je vais laisser deux de nos clients vous dire un peu qui nous sommes. Et merci vraiment pour votre attention.
to ask questions. I see a hand up there. To ask questions, please meet them back at the table and ask your questions to them back at the table because of time constraints, please.
C'est tellement intéressant. C'est tellement intéressant.
Voilà, écoutez-moi très bien. Si vous êtes entrepreneur ou chef d'entreprise en Afrique ou dans la diaspora, écoutez-moi ce message parce que c'est toujours ce message. Je vous présente une technologie. C'est anglais, hein, nous on a parlé toujours anglais. C'est miracle. Ah oui, dans la transformation digitale des entreprises. Vous ne connaissez pas, vous ne connaissez rien. Apprenez pas à demander. Avec Winner Technologie, eh bien, moi, je suis en haut. Hein. Je suis en haut. Parce que c'est eux qui accompagnent vos productions depuis, ça fait 2 ans maintenant. Et ben, en tout cas, moi, j'ai grimpé, je suis en haut. Oui, ça a développé mon entreprise. Et en tout cas, on est bien. On est bien. Oui, ils développent l'Internet. Ah oui. Avec Winner Technologie, c'est la puissance. C'est la puissance. Ils vont moderniser votre entreprise. Vous aider à réaliser votre rêve. Sinon, vos rêves, même pour faire sortir sur volleyball.
With forensic evidence detective agency, FedPac. We have been working with Brilliant Technology for about 4 years. They have pretty much helped us with every IT need in the company. I will recommend Brilliant Technology for their professionalism. We are using them for every IT need in Africa also. So they are pretty much pretty good to work with.
Alors, contactez-les dès maintenant. Ils sont basés aux États-Unis. Ils sont basés aussi au Cameroun. Ils sont basés en Inde. Voilà, faites pas moi. Hein. Si vous ne faites pas comme moi, je vous engagez.
Je vous engagez.
Thank you so much.
Je vais ajouter que Binam Colorado a eu l'opportunité de travailler avec Willan Technology et l'expérience a été de qualité. Ce sont vraiment de professionnels et la qualité du produit et la qualité des services sont vraiment excellents. Vous pouvez visiter binamcolorado.org et ça vous donnera une idée de ce qu'ils sont capables, de ce...
No, it's okay.
Yes.
Just leave it alone.
Yes. Cameroonian entrepreneurship. That is what we're talking about. Awesome. Very awesome. Business support and things like that. Social projects and as well as business projects. So they reached out to us and they could we agreed that they could look for ways in which they could extend their scheme to the rest of all Bamileke, all other Bamileke associations who are interested in joining that team. So we've been discussing on that a lot, and so he's just going to give us some heads up with respect to what the project is and update us on what it takes for other associations to join their, I call it, business venture. Over to you, Wilfred. And then after that, I'll give 2 minutes to After that will be ABC project for Cameroon for this year by Colorado. They should be ready to talk after Wilfried speaks. Over to you, Wilfried.
Hello again. Okay, again, my name is Captain Muishe Wilfried. So, we really, for the sake of time, this will really go quick. For questions, we'll be available after this to answer them. But I want to start by saying this. We are really, really in bad shape. Really in bad shape. And you will understand how many, so we know, talking about integration in the US, right? There are people who really want to go really far. They want to be business owners. They want to create businesses, right? Which is really great. But there is a CNBC article back in 2021 that kind of surprised me a lot. It actually shocked me. About 20% of businesses in the US, they fail within 18 months. About 20% of new businesses. Within 10 years, 75%. This is everyone, right? But in the African community, like black-owned businesses, is actually 80% of businesses who fail within 18 months. 80%. So what does that mean? It means that in this room, if you are thinking about creating a business, and if we take 10 of you, 8 of you will fail within 18 months. That's the reality. That's the fact. Now, why is that? These are few reasons. Economic, right? It's very difficult for us to put money aside to invest. We also have, we are the primary victim of misinformation. Who here has been pushed into starting a business because they were told that if you want to be your own boss, right, create a business. If you want to become rich, create your own business, right? Yeah. When you create your business, you no longer have a boss. Who here was told that? Come on, people. That's a lot, right? Yeah. But when you create your business, the next day you start realizing that you no longer have one boss, but 10. More than that, right? They are all our clients. They are your bosses. And they are much more demanding. So we have a lot of disinformation going on with a lot of things. And with the help with the social media, it's not actually making it better for us. Actually, social media is pushing us into making wrong decisions as communities or as business owners. This is dangerous. Does it mean that we should stop investing? No. Does it mean that we should maybe just, doing something else? No. But what it means is we have to be careful. If you want to invest, we have to be careful. We have a lot of people trying to invest. And the later example is you have people here who have invested in businesses and it turned out to be something else. I don't want to get into more detail than that. I'm pretty sure you all know what I'm talking about. Yes, I know. But what it means is that us African or our Cameroonian from the West region, we can come up with something as a community. How do we fight that as a group, right? Because this is bigger than one person. This is bigger. This is a problem. This problem is bigger than one individual. We need to take on it as a group, as a community. And DOCO understood this. Most of you might be asking, and I will be really shocked if there is one asking that, what is DOCO, right? Everybody should know what DOCO is, right? Dynamic West Cameroon Dowayo. DOCO. DOCO. And will you please join me in wishing happy anniversary to DOCO? Today, 5 years ago today, DOCO was founded in Columbus, Ohio, 5 years ago today. And DOCO, along with 34 members, DOCO, along with 34 of its members, decided to start an initiative called DOCO Drive, Inc. So that's why we need to give you some of this background. We wanted to make sure that if you need money, right, it's very difficult for us to go to the bank and get even a $5,000 loan. It's difficult. $10,000, even more than that, let's not even talk about it. It's complex. We need a financial solution that understands us. We have a very unique reality. When you come in the US, you are maybe 25 years old, but your social security is like 1 month old. That's a huge problem. The system doesn't know you. Therefore, they won't trust you. But if we have our own ways of getting connected to capital, then we will understand each other. So DOCO understood that with these members, and they started something for community. And on top of money, DOCO Drive Inc. is on another goal is how to help entrepreneurs. That is the two main objectives of DOCO Drive. Now, look at what we have been able to do this far. We have been able to mobilize 845 shares, and a share is $100 with DOCO Drive. And we have been able to approve, okay, this is as of 1 or 2 months ago, if I'm right. We have been able to approve up to at least $122,000 in loans. And this is since 2019, basically. Technically 2020, because DOCO Drive was founded in 2019. And the loan program really took off in 2020. So this is less than 2 years. This amount may not seem much for some of us, right? But it's a starting point. It's a blueprint of something that can be made bigger and huge. So now we want to make sure that we go even a step further. In this room, we have very successful people. We have very successful entrepreneurs. But we don't know who they are. I might be needing help. But how do I know that what I need is actually somewhere here around me? That is what we are lacking a lot. So DOCO Drive is trying to adapt itself in order to get to that point. That is why we have this vision. This is the new vision that we are trying to propose to our community, to all of us. We want to be the largest, and let me read it, word by word. We will become the largest, most trusted, and most successful business network of the African diaspora.
Yes.
That is what we want to do. And here is the proposed mission statement. We empower Cameroonian communities to foster collaborative thinking to drive entrepreneurial mindset and wealth creation. We believe that community initiatives are crucial for better integration and development of the African diaspora in other countries. So here is our goal. Making sure that if one African citizen or one Cameroonian or one Bamileke needs to invest, he is dreaming in investing in something. We want them to understand that or know that DOCO Drive is a place to go and ask them, and tell them, this is what I want to do. I need help. And DOCO Drive should be able to say, Wilfried, you want to invest in IT? We know successful businesses in IT. They are not people barking on social media about how great they are, how rich they are. These are people who have proven to be successful, and we will connect you to them so that you start learning from them. You will learn from their mistakes, and you will start and go from there. That is what we want. Now, as I move forward, there are a few constraints. We are not a bank, right? And what we are proposing to change is going to be complex. It's going to take some time. We will be available to come to each association, right, to answer any questions. Whatever we are proposing will have to go through the DOCO Drive General Assembly, because we have a General Assembly of 34 people. They will have to amend and vote. It's a complex solution, but trust me, we will get there. Here's what we are proposing for the new structure of DOCO Drive. Right now, we only have 34 shareholders, but we want to open it up to other communities, right? We want to open it up. Right now, DOCO Drive only has one community, which is DOCO. And DOCO is entitled to 3 to 5% benefit from DOCO Drive. And that is also another way to empowering communities, making sure that our communities, our associations don't depend on the gift that we provide, right? That members provide. We want to be able to create initiatives, projects that generate revenue, and that will also finance our communities. We want to add investors, right? There are people with money, they don't know what to do with it. They want to invest, but they are afraid. We want to make sure that we have a place for them in DOCO Drive. Then we want to have affiliates. Now, take a look, take a few seconds and read this. What is community sponsorship? We want everything to go through communities. So if you are an association, this is for you. How to be part of. Now, this is just how do I say? This is just a proposal, right? So if you have any better ideas, please link up with us, because at the end of the day, DOCO Drive will have to adopt this, right? But we want to make sure that each community has a voice and can be part of this initiative. And then when a community is affiliated at DOCO Drive, their members will then be eligible to become investors. That's how we want to do it. And then, so an investor, just to one line here, an investor is somebody who is going to be able to put money, like if you have some extra money you want to invest, you will invest here, you put your money with DOCO Drive that you trust that it will be well managed. And if your money is put into a project, you will be able to get answers. If you need answers from those businesses, you will get them. And investors also should be able to get loans from DOCO Drive. So that's also one benefit. Now, affiliates will be our client, right? These affiliates, they will be able to register their companies within our network. And by registering their companies, they will be clients, but they will also be service providers. Because if an affiliate is, let's say, a very successful public speaker, right? And we have another company another one who wants to become a successful public speaker, then we can link them. Then he's going to charge a fee, right? Because this is going to be a network where everybody gets something. Now, as I said, this is going to be very short. We want you please to follow us on social media. DOCO Drive is on Facebook. And please take a look also stop by Dynamic West Cameroon Dowayo on Facebook and follow us. Thank you so much.
Rodrigue, could you see me, please?
So this video is going to resume our project. So just watch the video, and then we hope that after the video, you guys will go online or you will come tonight and be ready to support us. So we have gone through so many projects, and we were able to select one that we believe it's going to be beneficial for our community back in Cameroon. Thank you.
La FOSHCAM est créée il y a de cela une dizaine d'années par un collège des ceintures noires pratiquant des arts martiaux, ayant constaté la montée de la grande criminalité, des cas de viol, des cas de meurtre et surtout des cas de violence en milieu scolaire et en milieu jeune. Nous nous sommes dit qu'étant pratiquants des arts martiaux et maîtrisant les points vitaux sur le corps de l'autre, nous pouvions dire à la jeunesse, attention, zéro violence pour la paix. Car ne connaissant pas les points vitaux, vous pouvez envoyer quelqu'un à l'hôpital ou envoyer quelqu'un à la mort. Sauf que quelques temps après, nous nous sommes rendus compte que la jeunesse devenait de plus en plus violente sous l'emprise des drogues et autres stupéfiants. Nous nous sommes déployés depuis lors à dire aux enfants zéro drogue, zéro violence, zéro stupéfiant pour un avenir meilleur et pour la paix dans nos familles et dans notre pays. La FOSHCAM a organisé 430 causeries éducatives dans les établissements d'enseignement secondaire au Cameroun, 80 causeries éducatives avec les associations culturelles, 120 associations des parents d'élèves ont été sensibilisées sur les indices primaires de consommation des drogues par un enfant, le mécanisme d'enrôlement des jeunes dans la consommation des drogues et les substances chimiques ou naturelles capables de modifier, changer, altérer le comportement d'un enfant. L'action sociale de la FOSHCAM a impacté directement ou indirectement 6 millions de familles. Le nombre de cas de jeunes dépendants enregistrés par la FOSHCAM jusqu'à ce jour remonte à 3510. Le nombre de cas de viol enregistrés en 2021 seulement 186. Nombre de parents tués par leurs enfants ou par un des conjoints 146. Nombre de cas sévrés de la consommation.
So now let me just give a heads up on this one. Each year, well, this is our second convention. So convention dues are paid. Associations are called upon to pay convention dues to the host to support them for convention. $1,500 as convention dues. Of that $1,500, $1,000 goes for supporting the organization, and then $500 goes to fund a program, a developmental program back home. So each convention host now we require each convention host to carry out a developmental project back home, and they give us the report on the project that they did back home. So the convention of 2019, which was held in Atlanta, that's the report that we're going to hear of what they did back home, and also later on in the program, Colorado is also going to give us heads up of what they plan to do back home from this convention. Marlies, over to you, my dear. Thanks.
One people. One destiny. Hello, everyone. I'm Mamanga Sam from Atlanta. In 2019, we had voted to do our annual project. We do one project per year, and we were hosting the convention. So we had 3 projects on the table. We say we're going to see how many associations are going to come, and we did have the money to do a second project, and that project was done in Gagua, which is, I believe, Haut Plateau. Yeah, but the division is Haut Plateau. Yes. Yeah, because we're trying to stick with the 8th division of the West Cameroon. We have done already in 5, and our goal is to shoot for finish the 8th in an upcoming year. So we did in Gogwa. I have a lot of video. I don't know. The video is very long. So okay. So the project was done, and this was the donation was the All Bamileke of Atlanta carry on the project, but the money was from all the non-associations that contributed, and it was water well. It's not a forage because there's a difference between a forage and puits adapté, I believe. Puits aménagé. One, the forage is electric. This one is, they had given me, I have taken a few estimates, and this is the cheapest one because it doesn't require electricity. And the only disadvantage is that when it's a dry season, the water level is low. So the usage has to be very managed. One person cannot have 10 gallons when the other one they have to do distribution at different times. So everything went well with little difficulty that we cannot not expect that in our society. And one of the things that I really want to tell anybody going in Cameroon to do a project, especially if you're doing a project for a community, it's not your project. You have to set the guidelines for the receiving community ahead of time. Because when you're coming, they're expecting you to give them money. And on vous casse les pieds, littéralement. I cannot go into a lot of things. We did 5 projects in 10 months. In our association did 5 projects in 10 months during the COVID. So, but it was tug of war. We just didn't do this one. After this project, the first 2 projects that I did as the president was a puits aménagé. But when we went back for a second round, we're supposed to do puits aménagé, member summit project. But when you go on the ground, they want something else. And the time we do the project during the dry season, if you're going to do a water project, you know that the dry season is very short. From somewhere in mid-October to January, it needs to be finished. And you need to be controlling that from here. You have to have a team on the ground. So when I went there, they don't want the project, but they want to know how much it's costing me. They want to know if I'm taking the money, if there's a lot of things, and I want to know how are you going to maintain it. They say, well, can you help us maintain it? You cannot go do a project and give them money. So you have to figure all that out and make sure that the people submitting the project are not related to, don't have any say in what you're doing on the ground, because it's going to become a tug of war. A lot of discussion that is not need to be going to be taking place because people want a lot of things. 2 things: set the criteria for people submitting the project. You say, I'm going to do this, stick with it. When you go to Cameroon, the advantage with me, I have a team. So I did project for 2 years. The team, I go into a community with technician, with everything. All I need from the community is to agree in writing that they're going to do a celebration. They're going to invite the sous-prefet, do all this, invite the media. You have to set that up in advance. Otherwise, they're just going to sit and wait for you to do everything. So, but it went well, and at the end, gave me recognition and all that. But this is Gogwa.
Yes, Bahamas.
This is because they wanted me to say Gogwa. So this was the project that was done with convention money, and the technician, the agreement that I have with them, because I'm working personally, I have non-profit. I do stuff outside before I was in the association, and I told them, if I'm happy with you, I'm going to recommend. I think somebody called me, the previous speaker, I don't remember his name. He called me. Actually, I gave him reference for the guy. A few people have called and said when I posted it on our phone. So if you're satisfied, if I'm satisfied, I'm going to give them reference. And they're on call. The first project that we did that I submitted in the Day region in Bantu went out. And during the inauguration of the other project, they informed me. I say, we don't have anything to do with it, but the technician, that's the agreement. He goes and the community have to pay him. And that's what is done. If a project is not working, and you hear that we did a project and it's not working, it's because I don't know about it. Because if they inform me, the agreement is that you're doing this project, I'm giving you this business. If need be, you're gonna go back, talk with the community, and they'll give you what needed, and you arrange it. So we're very satisfied. I haven't heard anything. Everything is going well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The association who are doing those marvelous things back home, so they reached out to you for support.
Yes, the organization reached out. We did open project call out. I'll say that, and some organization sent the project. and we took those projects, including the project that we had from Bingham, Colorado. We put it on a vote. Well, before that, we had some how am I going to say that, due diligence. We had some well, I would say a way to rank every single project. Criteria, thank you very much. And from there, we selected the one that met the most criteria in terms of points, and then we sent it to the group, right? And from there, we voted in the group which one we wanted to go with. So we first came out with 3 projects, and this one was one of them. And from those 3 projects, we had a general final vote, and this one was picked.
Okay. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have further questions for them, please, you could find out from them afterwards. And for the sake of time, we will not take.
It's really a pleasure and an honor to host you in Colorado. In 2019, you guys put your trust in us, and here we are. You guys are here. You are here not only to enjoy each other, but you are here also to talk about us Bamileke, and us Cameroonians. So we welcome you once again to Colorado. We had a kickstart last night, and we were able to showcase our culture. We were able to show how proud we are to be Bamileke. So let's continue with it throughout the weekend. You guys are very welcome to Colorado. We hope that everything goes well. I mean, everything will go well. We have done our best in order for you guys to really enjoy this weekend. So once again, thank you. Thank you for being here. We are about to start this symposium. This is time for us to talk about serious stuff. We know we are capable of a lot of things. We can do a lot when we are united, when we have a vision, and when we have goals. So this is the moment for us to really talk about what we can do for each other, what we can do for the West region, and what we can do for our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you very much. I would now call on our guest.
Alaka. Asinzina. Yamalali. Andy que famille. Pochon poupon lo. Pochon poupon. Ce que le docteur Watonsi a dit est capital. On croit, est-ce que l'enfant peut courir sans ramper et marcher? Non. Ne vous moquez pas d'un enfant qui parle mal sa langue. C'est parce que nous pensons que c'est quand il sera grand qu'il va apprendre. Dès l'âge d'1 an, tout ce que vous allez dire à l'enfant, puisqu'en ce moment-là, vous le maîtrisez à 99%. Parlez seulement en patois. L'enfant a la capacité d'apprendre 5 langues à la fois sans se tromper. Donc, si vous mettez un ordinateur là, vous ne formatez pas, il y aura quoi dedans? Ou si vous formatez mal, vous aurez quoi dedans? Le négatif, non? C'est comme ça, la clé USB, si tu mets quelque chose, tu vas avoir cette chose-là. Si tu ne mets rien, tu n'auras rien. Alors, mon ADN est dans ABC. Sachez que vous pouvez compter sur moi. Je viens vous encourager, mais j'ai le droit de parler un peu de l'histoire de Bamileke parce que j'ai un âge qui m'a permis de comprendre et de voir certaines choses. Et je voudrais vous dire que avant d'être malade, j'ai vu jusqu'à l'âge de 15 ans. Je me souviens, en 63, ma grand-mère, puisque j'ai été élevé par elle, elle m'a donné un sac pour aller donner à ma tante. Au carrefour Makiza, pour ceux qui ne savent pas, c'est un carrefour, on exposait toutes les têtes, ceux qui nous pourchassaient, ceux qui nous tuaient, pour nous intimider et pour créer la peur à vie. J'ai croisé un monsieur avec ses 2 femmes, enfin leur tête qu'on avait coupée, fraîchement installée là-bas.
Imaginez, comment ça peut me quitter? Les avions jaunes qui ont bombardé, parfois avec le napalm, j'ai encore ça dans ma tête. Je ne peux pas vous dire le nombre de nuits que j'ai passé en brousse. Mais est-ce que ça m'a freiné? On nous a poursuivis, on demandait de laisser passer pour aller à l'ouest. Mais maintenant que nous sommes ici, que vous êtes dehors, que vous avez cette liberté offerte par l'Amérique du Nord, nous avons peur de qui? Nous avons peur de quelqu'un? Non. C'est pour cela que je crois en vous. Tout ce que vous allez entreprendre, tout ce que vous allez faire pour que ce mouvement aille de l'avant, je serai avec vous. Et sachez que ça va traverser les frontières et c'est peut-être d'ici qu'on va rééduquer ceux qui sont restés. Voilà. Vous savez que les Bamileke riches, d'antan, ils ne volaient pas. Même s'ils volaient, c'était avec sagesse. C'est-à-dire que quand on envoie un enfant soutenir, ou quand le grand qui est déjà à Douala ou à Yaoundé ou à Kansamba, demander qu'on lui envoie quelqu'un pour qu'il puisse être performant, au moins pendant 2 semaines, on disait à cet enfant, ça pouvait être un cousin, son petit frère même, ou un enfant de voisin avec qui on avait de bons rapports. Pendant 2 semaines, voire 1 mois, on lui dit, on n'aimerait pas entendre un jour qu'il a des maux de tête à cause de toi. S'il te confie une paire de chaussures pour vendre à 10 000 francs, même si on achète à 15 000, ne dépense pas les 5 000 qu'il y a au-dessus sans lui dire. Tu lui donnes. S'il veut te faire un cadeau, il le fera. S'il ne le fait pas, continue ton travail. Et c'est comme ça que les aînés qui ont eu de l'argent coopéraient avec des enfants intelligents, qui avaient compris les leçons de la vie, ce qu'on doit faire et ce qu'on ne doit pas faire. Et ça a fait en sorte que tous ces grands commerçants, je ne vais pas citer de nom, ils sont allés en Europe, d'autres avec peut-être 10 millions commandaient de la marchandise. Quand ils finissaient, ils rentraient vite. Voyant qu'ils étaient honnêtes, qu'ils payaient, les Européens, ou en Italie, ou en France, ou ailleurs, leur laissaient la possibilité de commander la marchandise jusqu'à 50 millions, 100 millions, même s'ils n'apportaient que 20 ou 30. Au départ, ils donnaient 30 jours. Parce qu'ils étaient honnêtes, ils ont poussé jusqu'à 60. Parce qu'ils étaient toujours honnêtes, ils ont poussé jusqu'à 90 jours. Imaginez quelqu'un qui n'avait que 20 millions, qui commande de la marchandise pour 100 millions et qui respecte l'échéancier, il rembourse. C'est ça qui a permis aux autres d'avancer. Aujourd'hui, confie ta boutique à ton petit frère ou à un cousin. Ils veulent le capital avant de voler le bénéfice. Est-ce que c'est le comportement que nous voulons? Non. Qui de nous n'a pas fait l'expérience? Il achète une voiture, il l'envoie en Afrique à son petit frère qu'il a laissé là-bas. Il croit qu'il va se débrouiller pour nourrir la mère, pour nourrir les autres quand il y a des petits problèmes de 10 000, 20 000 qu'on appelle puisque généralement on appelle de là-bas pour demander, jamais pour dire bonjour. Non. Alors, dès qu'il reçoit la voiture, si la voiture sort et qu'il réussit à faire les pièces, même pour faire une bonne partie des pièces, il demande l'argent à celui qui a envoyé la voiture. La première panne, il appelle. Si tu décroches, il dit que la voiture est tombée en panne. Donc il ne comprend pas que tu es en train de constituer comme ça un petit capital pour les rendre autonomes. Est-ce que c'est bon? Non. Voilà le côté que nous devons combattre. Dans notre association là, apprenons à être honnêtes. Apprenons à faire tout ce qui va permettre aux autres de nous envier. Parce que nous sommes la locomotive.